is Hulk Hogan, brother, and you're listening to the best of the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Oh, hold on. Burn a timeout.
Uh-oh.
We got Bubba.
Is it?
I wasn't going to call in until you missed the mandatory disclaimer on the Super Beat.
I read it, Bubba.
You don't sound
No,
like
you
Bubba.
didn't read the mandatory
Oh, there you-
disclaimer. This supports a heart-healthy lifestyle. It's in the middle of the copy. It's highlighted. You missed it.
That's my fault, Bubba.
That's what I'm saying. Wasn't going to call. Show's going good. I don't care what chat says. I'm a little groggy. But I'm like, you know what? It would be nice for them to do and be able to get through this endorsement, me not having to do 2 tomorrow. And you guys were nailing it, just nailing it. My little guys were. And then I turned to the merch crick because they're not letting me drive because I'm a little groggy.
Yeah.
And I go, they're gonna miss the mandatory disclaimer. And sure enough, you did.
Paired with a healthy lifestyle, the antioxidants and super beets are clinically shown to be nearly 2 times more effective at promoting normal blood pressure than a healthy lifestyle alone.
There you go. That's what you missed.
Yeah.
You better.
Bubs, how you doing?
You better close that in.
I will squeeze that one in.
Can you give us a brief synopsis on how you're doing?
I'm a little groggy.
Yeah.
I went and got some Chick-fil-A. My report came back. I had one small little polyp. I do have hemorrhoids, which are not a big deal.
Right, you already knew that. Inside or outside the BH?
I don't know. I have some pictures.
Okay.
Oh.
You're just spreading your cheeks.
They wouldn't do videotape.
Oh.
Okay.
The anesthesiologist was a smoking blonde.
Yeah.
Which made me feel even worse because I don't want an attractive person looking at my butthole.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Or your elevator button. You said you probably weren't hanging nice. Did you fluff up prior?
I did. I tried, but
Okay.
there's a bunch of people around.
Yeah.
And you're in this gown. I got yelled out because I tied the back of my gown. You're not supposed to tie the back of your gown.
Right. It needs to be open willy.
I tied it. They did do the IV in the arm, not the hand.
Okay, that's good.
Dr. Chang is my doctor. He did I would highly suggest, Brian, you're probably approaching, where you might want to start thinking about doing a colonoscopy,
Yeah, I'll poo in the box first and then see what I got to do.
I wouldn't. There's so many false fit. There's so many false negatives. Yeah,
it's just a waste of $400.
This is where you're going to end up anyway. So you might as well,
Yeah, just get to it.
You might. Yeah, and listen, man. I was there at 5:30, and I was out by what time? 7:30. 8 o'clock.
You mean out of the facility?
I was out of the facility by 8. And I've just been sitting back listening to the show, enjoying it.
Good.
You do have a couple crutches we have to work on, Anna. But
I got lots of crutches. Yeah.
Welcome back to the program. I'm sick of hearing that. You should just say, welcome back to the Bubba the Love Sponge show. I'm Anna filling in. Bubba's getting his butthole checked.
Yeah.
You don't say, welcome back to the program. That's too ambiguous.
Sorry about that.
But couple little things.
Mm-hmm.
Brian's been wonderful. Lummy, you've been really great. Has there been a scorecard kept today?
No, Bubba. We figured that was your thing.
I didn't want to bite off your thing.
I agree. Nobody can be handing out scores except me.
Yeah.
Little disappointed the Rays blew it. The worst team in baseball.
2-1.
We lose 2-1.
They're the hottest team in baseball right now.
Yeah, actually the A's are. I think they're 4-game winning streak.
8?
Is it 8?
They're up to 7 or 8 games now in a row. 7.
Yeah, well, still we're the best team in baseball. They're the worst team, and we lose 2 in a row. That's not good.
No, and 1-run losses too. It's not like I'd rather get blown out than lose close ones like these.
Although we really got screwed. We had a home game, and then we had to fly clear across the country. Talk about bad routing.
Yeah. No, that was that way, and it wasn't like a super early home game. It was a 4:00-er, right, on Sunday.
Yeah, it was a 4:00-er. Got done by 7. Probably went on the plane till 9.
Well, that's why they made that. Yeah, that's why they made the Oakland game at 9:10. They were trying to help the Rays out.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Looks like Vegas won the Cup last night.
They sure did.
I'm actually headed out to Pasco County to pick up a trailer.
Nice.
But Merch Crick's driving.
Oh, God.
So usually I would never let her drive when we're picking up trailers, but I'm
You're a little groggy. Yeah.
So you tell me, I'll help you with the
Chick-fil-A.
insurance claim, buddy. You just let me know what your damage is, and we'll take care of it.
What do you mean?
Every time Merch Creek drives one of your cars, she wrecks it.
Yeah, you're right. Every time she drives, she's 10-2 right now.
Brian,
We
he's
had
in a
to
good
stop.
mood.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, we had to stop.
At
early.
Chick-fil-A. Oh.
Well, no, after that, because she at the Wawa, because she said she had to poop.
Oh.
Like you wouldn't, and I'm like, for real? You're messing up.
Ew,
my
Merch
fuzzy
Creek
time?
poops?
Yeah, Merch Creek poop. She had pooped since Friday, so she had a big turtle head poking out. Now she's all mad at me.
She doesn't eat any veggies,
And,
does she? So she must
man, I
only
gotta
go
tell
once
ya.
every 4 days.
This colonoscopy thing, you're in and out, man.
Oh, good.
But
I thought it was going to take way
when
longer.
When I woke up, they're like, "Okay, Mr. Clem, you're all." Damn it! Oh my God, Merch Creek.
Was that
Did she
her
just
hit
curb? Did she just curb your
or
truck?
hit a pothole?
Yeah, she just. Jesus, I don't care if I'm on propofol or not. I got to drive.
Okay. Well,
But Bubba, have you been very gassy?
Yes, but I haven't been able to. I was able.
I was going to
document
ask you if
poop.
you've been documenting.
I've been documenting. I documented all 7 or 8 bowel movements. I documented going, taking my in the room, getting my gown on and all that. And then the guy came in and said that you can't use phones up until that point to the telemetry.
And a
Although I will
C-blocker.
tell you, my blood pressure was 117/71,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
which is like
Below,
the guy
yeah,
said
120.
that's like the guy said that's super healthy.
Yeah, that's like 20-year-old athlete.
That
blood
must be
pressure.
because of superbeats.com. Go
Superbeats.com.
hit superbeats.com.
We are literally in Pasco County, and we're stopped in the middle of the road. Honk the horn at them. Listen.
Oh,
she's
sorry.
not your horn.
Oh,
Anna.
my bad. I was just trying to get in on the action.
Hold on, they're secrets. Make them make the noise.
Are they egrets or the sandhill
Yeah,
cranes?
I think those are the sandhill cranes.
If you're in
Whatever,
Pasco,
they're
it's the
big.
big gray ones.
Don't hit them; they're
I
protected.
would have gassed it up and hit them. To be honest.
Oh,
dude.
those are
Can
protected.
I share you one of the saddest stories ever
Is the
about the
one
sandhill crane?
with the missing legs?
What?
No. So I was driving to work one day. I used to live up in Hudson, remember? And so I was
Right.
driving to work into downtown Tampa to Adams and Diaco. And on my way into work at like 7:15 in the morning, I saw a sandhill crane standing next to its partner that had gotten hit by a car. And it was standing right next to it trying to protect it. I drove home that night at 6:30 p.m. and the sandhill crane was still standing right next to its partner trying to protect it
Well,
because they
Don't
mate
you-
for life.
Yeah, they're made for life. Yeah.
Don't you wish women were like sandhill cranes?
Yep.
You have one like
I
that
was just
right
about
now.
to say, you got to ride or die.
I do got to. I got to stand. I told him to start calling her for the Merch Creek over to the sandhill crane.
There you go.
Yeah, she's a SHC.
I mean, she was there to pick me up for my colonoscopy. She took me to Chick-fil-A. I did let her go poop at the Wawa, and now we're going to pick up a trailer.
Did you
Nice.
document her poop at the Wawa?
No.
Yeah, you're allowed cameras in there.
Yeah, well, we went to the Sitco first, but they wouldn't let her poop there.
Did
Why
you say I
not?
have to
They
poop?
said they have a no number 2 policy at that Sitco.
I guess some guests, and we're not, we don't look like common white trash too much. Like we're
You just
we're
got to
not
buy a
back
pack
in
of
the-
gum or
I
something.
can see where they won't let meth heads and stuff like that poop in there, but this is a little 4'11" Merch Creek.
Maybe when
you-
they saw you walk in.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you walk in slurring your
This
speech
guy's an addict.
saying,
No, I was-
I really, my girlfriend needs to use the pooper?
Bob.
No, I've been I'm sitting passenger side Willie, minding my own business, closing my eyes occasionally. And the only time I was even going to participate on the show is after you messed up the endorsement.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry that you felt compelled to call in because they messed it up. We're trying our best here.
Otherwise, I was just riding the show out, enjoying it.
Oh, good,
Pretty-
good.
But
you
Bubba,
guys-
we did it trying to help. I said, don't we need to do a Super Beats read or something? Because you do it every day.
No, I know, and now Lummy can pitch. He can mix it in there.
Yep.
Lummy will edit it, and we'll get it to the client, and they'll never know any different.
That is correct.
So, all right, guys, well, we're pulling up to this trailer deal.
Good luck, Bubba.
All right, we're thinking about you.
All All right. Thanks,
Feel
guys.
better.
Take care, poopy
We
pants.
we said a prayer.
Bye now.
Bye.
We did. It was a beautiful
Yeah,
prayer.
I hope he caught the prayer because we really do care. We hope he's doing well. And
Your
I'm
prayer
sorry.
worked, Lummy. How about that? Why are you burying the lead here,
Yeah.
Anna? The power of prayer.
The power of Christ,
That's right,
yes,
the
is
power
in
of
us
Christ,
all.
Brian.
And you're right. I shouldn't have doubted Christ for 1 second.
Not at
And I'm
all.
sorry that I did. And after this break, I promise we are going to get to the Burisma stuff because it's interesting and I want to get to it. And it's going to be full of laughs. So stay tuned.
Yep, they phoned that break in. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show returns after these words.
Welcome, everybody. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show, June 15th, 2023. Myself, Lummy, Dr. Dan, Rhett, and Macho Man. Anna is probably in Idaho right now. Did she leave yesterday?
Thought you did.
Yeah. That would be smart. Get out there, But you know how she is. She's a little tight, so an extra day of a hotel room might not work for her.
Yeah, whatever airfare was probably cheaper.
Yeah.
The red eye.
She's
sleep on the plane and in the airport.
I see people sleeping in the airport, and I'm like, man, I don't. First of all, in order for me to go to sleep, I am somewhat vulnerable, susceptible to attack. So, because I'm so out of it.
Right. And you can get robbed. People can take just a bag quietly, stroll by.
What if my stomach's kind of hanging out a little bit because of my shirt hiked up on me? Now, guy sees my big gut. You know what I'm saying? I was so worried yesterday. I went and got my colonoscopy, which I got my results and pictures back. And Dan wasn't initially scheduled to be in today, but because I knew Babyface was going to be in here yesterday, I had a big scheduling snafu. Kevin gave me a last minute yippee. I'd like to be there on Wednesday, but I had Brian locked in on Wednesday, so I couldn't just cancel Brian because he had already made plans not to be here on Thursday. And so I asked Kevin, well, can you come in on Thursday? And he's like, no, I can't come in on Thursday. I'm gonna be such a rich guy problem. I'll be fishing in Boca.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right. Okay, buddy. So then I had Dan scheduled for tomorrow. I think Dan, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I didn't have Dan scheduled for today. I wasn't going to bug him. I know today's surgery day, and so this morning at I don't know, maybe what time was it? 4:30.
4:31 after I woke up. Well,
Right.
Anna reached out to me last night. She goes, "Are you supposed to be in tomorrow? You want me to send you show prep?" I'm like, I started going through a sudden panic. I'm like, am I supposed to be in?
I'm glad she did that. I'm
And I was
so
like,
glad.
I don't know.
Otherwise,
So I just woke up
you wouldn't even have thought about it.
So
I got my Muffy for 2 hours. He's got to leave at 8 o'clock. So we're going to go over my colonoscopy, my results of my colonoscopy with him because he's a doctor and all. And so I did that yesterday. Really wasn't that bad. I think I gamed the system, but I didn't game it enough because there's one particular picture. Now, we're not going to...
kind of busted.
Where you can see my scrambled eggs. It's not a wonder. It's probably because the guy liked me, Dr. Chang. It's probably because he liked me because sometimes they'll send you home.
Oh, they will. But they send you home when it's like filled with feces, not when there's like, a little bit of scrambled eggs left over from, from this morning.
The guy, there was a super cool dude in there. He was a male nurse, but he was super cool. And I asked him, because he was like he was the guy that when I was in they put you in the little, like the little, Dan, the room that they put you where they run your IV. And
like the holding room, the pre-op.
Pre-op. When there's like, about literally 15 beds in there, and they're just sanctioned off with curtains.
Right. Yeah.
So
holding.
he comes in there and gives me the good news. He goes, listen, here's your gown, here's your bag, put everything in, your the bag, your hat, your wallet, your phone, everything
Open
in
the
there.
gown in the back.
Yeah, but see, I tied mine in the back. I didn't know that. I got in trouble for that one. So I go to him. I said, hey, let me ask you a question, buddy. Because I could tell he was younger and he was cool. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he was being cool to me. So he was like, I go, can I ask you a question? He goes, yeah. And I go, I think his name was Paul.
He was a nurse? Is that what it was?
Yeah, and he was rugged. And he was like, I'd probably put him against Macho Man on ruggedness. And he lifts weights a ton, and he does MMA.
Oh, wow.
All
They'd
tatted.
probably be really good at baby oil twister, those two guys.
I don't know. I'm not trying to get into that.
Macho said there's nobody like him.
Oh, is that what he said?
He's a genetic freak.
Is that the official word?
Yeah.
Right. Tell him we're not breaking out the fat, pudgy power pick pictures, okay? Tell him Tell him he just became a gym. When did he come? When did now?
Yeah, what was his metamorphosis?
At what time? I mean, there at one time, and even Macho Man will tell you. Macho Man, your mic's up, by the way. At one time, I think it is. Are you there? Oh,
yeah.
Which one are you on here? Hello, here. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah, I actually have to label that Mach too because I
was going to do that yesterday, but I can't find scissors.
Yeah. We got 940.
I think Merch took all the scissors upstairs.
I think she did too. She's in a modern day absolute crap storm, Lummy, because she's slinging lunch boxes, these straw hats. There's literally only like 11 left out of 100.
The hats?
Yeah.
Oh, hotcakes, huh?
Oh my God. And then the lunch boxes sold out, and the dog harnesses are coming. So upstairs in the Clem's Clubhouse looks like an absolute bomb hit it. That's where she does all her merchandise stuff out of. Nice. So anyway, if you're going to get one of those Bubba Army, by the way, Lummy, I was driving, just driving around yesterday, and I noted, and I started noticing all the outside workers, like the road construction guys and the lawn dogs. A lot of guys wear straw hats.
Sure do,
especially this time of year.
Yes,
it's brutal. Sun.
It really. I think it pretty much. I mean, you should probably put something on your face, but I think it pretty much keeps the sun off your entire face and neck.
That's the design.
Yeah. So anyway, Mach, when did you start your, because at one time, and you've even admitted this, and I'm not trying to make you look bad, so don't get mad at me, but at one time you were kind of a fat, pudgy little kid that worked at the Power Pig, were you not?
Pork chop.
Yeah, they
call me the pork chop in production.
Come on,
dog.
You went from pork chop to Macho Man.
Yeah, now hold on. Now,
damn.
Now that in itself, even if you didn't know the dude, if some dude walked up to you, Dan, and said, "Hey, there's this fat little kid they used to call pork chop, but he went to the gym and now he looks like Macho Man." Even before you saw the guy, you're like, "Man, that's a hell of a transformation, right?"
Yep.
Verbally.
Yep.
So Macho Man, when did you finally what was the final thing you're like, screw it, I'm going to start dieting?
Is there a picture? Was there a comment?
Yeah, what finally did it where you're like, I'm going to get my lazy ass into the gym? And when? What year?
I'm attracted to athletic people, so I figured I need to do the same. So I decided I needed to lose the weight, and I did it the wrong way. I starved myself.
You're attracted to athletic people, like both
people
genders?
that are fit. Yeah, like hot people.
Yeah. So,
wow.
Yeah, me too.
So like a little non-binary there.
Well, I don't think he meant that, Dan.
I suppose. I mean, it's like, he doubles his chances.
Would you stop it?
Well, it's like, you, Dr. Dan.
He's not denying
you have abs and everything like that.
Right.
So and you're an attractive person.
Yeah, because I'm attracted to attracted girls.
Okay, well, Jesus. So, Macho Man, what day... when were you still at the Power Pig? Were you, did you see a picture of yourself? Like, how long ago was this transformation?
Well, I mean, growing up, you always hate being fat. I mean, that's just a thing. Because everybody, especially back when I went to high school, people gave you crap. It's not like today where, it's like more accepted, I guess. People are more politically correct.
Right.
You got slammed in the lockers and all that stuff. It was fun.
I know, but
it made you a better person, though, didn't it? I mean, didn't it toughen you up?
No, and maybe actually I would hide in the hallway for lunch. It was terrible. It was pretty bad.
You would get beat up?
No, I just stayed away from everybody. That's why I'm really shy in person. I avoid eye contact still to this day, just because of trauma back then, I guess.
So, but what you didn't answer? Like how old are you now? And when did you start?
We don't care about how old I am now. But
okay,
I started to probably losing the weight around 23. And I basically just ate 1 meal a day and did 10 miles of cardio every day. After this, I got home from the station. I did no matter what. I'd see stars. I'd do 10 miles every day.
What do you mean by 10? Like you'd walk or run 10 miles?
I did inline skating, so it's your heart rate doesn't get too high. But I still I look like anorexic at that point. So then I was pissed off because now I lost the fat, but now I'm just a skinny twig.
Now you look stupid.
Yeah.
So how many years did it take to build up the muscle?
I got dragged in the gym around 29.
Much later.
Yeah. And then I would say I had no idea what I was doing till quite recently. Actually, I got with a trainer and we figured things out.
He was like, "You're doing this wrong. You're doing that wrong."
Right now.
Yeah.
And things like that. So anyway, I don't know how we got into the Macho Man deal, but we did. Oh, anyway, my nurse, I tell my nurse, who's pretty rugged like Macho Man.
That's how we got into it.
And I go, "Hey, buddy, what if I've heard rumors. I think I'm fully cleaned out because my last bowel movement it looked just like kind of chicken broth, like there was no hunks in it or nothing like that. and I had 7 bowel movements, by the way. But I'll tell you right now, man, Dan, when you do this, when you finally go in for your colonoscopy, 1, you got to use my doctor because he's the best. It's just so simple. 2, I kind of learned how to game the system a little bit. And 3, you've got to, at least in the carriage house, install one of these tushy bidets, because I never once in the 7 bowel movements had to wipe my ass.
So you weren't like raw?
No. All you do is you poop, and normally you have to get a thing of either preparation aged with witch hazel,
right?
But you've pooped so much that you've kind of prolapsed your rectum,
right,
because you've pooped so much.
Right.
So I've had one other colonoscopy, and from wiping so many times with regular,
your rectum gets proud.
It gets tender.
Yes.
Well, this bidet, this tushy that my sister bought me 2 Christmases ago, and I installed, you just literally, it blows it right on off, and all you have to literally do is get a thing of toilet paper to dry your butt. You're just patting it because it's wet. Your butthole's wet, obviously, because you just blasted it, you just power washed it. And so you just got to tap it, just tap to make sure it's. A couple of times I just pulled my underwear up and let my underwear be wet. Like, who cares? It's clean wet.
But it's clean wet, but then like it's, that's when you get like rashes.
All right, whatever. Anyway.
You want like a dry tush.
If I would recommend, man, if you have to get a colonoscopy, Lummy, we should put the tushy? On our Amazon landing page.
All right.
It's called Tushy. I think Howard has one. That's how my sister found out about it. Then she bought one for herself, and this is like 2 years ago.
And it slips over your toilet?
It attaches kind of to your toilet. Maybe Lummy will send me a Tushy video, but it's kind of a, it's an add-on bidet to your already existing non-bidet toilet. It makes a regular toilet a bidet. Is it bidet? What? I mean,
bidet. Bidet.
So, Lummy, I tried to document my journey and my bowel prep. I got all 7 of my bowel movements, but the ceiling fan and the ceiling fan, my fart fan, your ceiling fan, your exhaust fan that every bathroom has, right? Mine is so loud and powerful that I don't know. And if you turn it off, it goes with the light. Most places, listen, I don't live in a fancy place now. A lot of, like, I'm sure Dan's fancy house, maybe even yours, Lummy, has 2 lights. One for the light switch, and then the other one for the fart fan.
Yes.
Well, mine's all in one, light and fart fan together. When you turn the light on, I got this little teeny bathroom off the kitchen that I love to poop in. It's my poop bathroom, and it's where the tushy is installed. So when I turn the light on, fart fan comes on, and I think the fart fan's so loud that it overpowered my. Listen, when you're doing a colonoscopy, it basically turns you turn into an explosion machine. So as soon as you sit down, because it comes on, I mean, it just really comes. As soon as you
it's like urgency is like I gotta go. I mean, it's like
I really think your ass does have a porcelain detection unit in it. I really do. How many times have you held a poop and held a poop and held a poop and you're doing pretty good, and then you even almost duck walk to the bathroom, you're holding it, and then the millisecond that your ass hits the seat, it goes.
Yes.
I think a lot of it has to do with that you're stretching you're
bending.
Yeah. So anyway, Lummy, I don't know how much of my footage, that first explosion was what I wanted to get. That's the money shot, and I think my fart fan kind of drowned it out nonetheless.
Oh.
Let me go to a few of my bowel movements here. Here we go. This is one right here. Oh, you can hear it. Did you hear it a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, So that
Brutal.
was 4:40, Dan.
Woke you up.
Because I had to be there at 5:30, so that was my last one. So, I'm going to make
one away from perfection.
I really was. Dan's got the pictures and stuff. We're not going to go through them right this very second. We're going to probably wait till the next hour. But Dan, in the next from now until let's say we do it at 7:15 or so before you leave.
Okay.
I'd like for you to maybe kind of study it, look at it a little bit. Don't keep maybe write some notes. That's your paper to have. Maybe write some notes and then we can go through it. I want you to kind of study a little bit, but don't blurt out anything, okay? I think they came to me, Dan, afterwards and said everything looked pretty good. They had one polyp they removed, and I think they're sending it off for a biopsy. And I have hemorrhoids. They said I have hemorrhoids, and they said that I had. It looked like they said I had some type of diverticulosis or something like that.
A little diverticulosis?
Yeah, like a little bit, but like I don't know. So we'll get into it a little bit later. Lummy, if Rhett or whoever will put this on screen. Now, Lummy, is this on our Amazon landing page?
No, but I'm adding it right now.
All right. And if you buy this, listen, we have to substitute our Amazon Smile program because it's the way that we fund my Bubba the Love Sponge Foundation. And so we have an Amazon landing page because we're like, like if you buy something through Amazon and you sign into your Amazon account through our landing page, then we get a small cut of it, like a little finder's fee. It doesn't come from your end. It comes from Amazon. So, Lummy, we put everything up there. We've put our penis pumps up there. We've put things that we've talked about on the show, the Presto pizza maker.
Yes.
So
our bestseller, the penis pump.
Yeah. Well, we've sold 24 units of those.
We're at 27 now.
We've told there's 27 Bubba armies out there that are pumping their penis. And I got to tell you, man, not a lot, probably not a lot of your favorite radio shows are manly enough to say, yeah, we pump.
That's right.
We pump. I mean, we pump.
Makes it a little bigger, a little fatter.
Dan has a big penis. I've seen it. We've all seen it. He likes to, like conveniently pee outside, and he doesn't like pee around the corner like me and Rhett does. And Lummy, because Lummy's small too.
Yes.
He likes to pee so that you can see it. And if I was hung like him, I'd have a conversation with my friend with my penis hanging out, peeing in a non-sexual type way. Be like, hey, Dan, so how many surgeries you got today? 5? Okay, great. Well, what time do you think you're going to be done? Well, I don't know, about 6. Perfect. Damn, how's the football team looking for next year? How was the vacation? What's going on, buddy? How's the Ferrari running? Just
shooting the breeze.
Yeah, with my penis in my hand,
right,
peeing,
right,
not caring whether you're seeing it or not.
Not really.
Meanwhile, I'm around the corner, Willie, kicking my head back,
looking over your shoulder,
talking back at you. So and just knowing to see where you are in case you do get too close, and you see my penis, even though you've seen my penis because you've worked on me several times.
Touched it.
Let's not talk about touching it.
I had to.
You said you had to flip it over.
Yeah.
So
it's in the way.
I did ask the guy. I knew that maybe I didn't get everything out because I ate scrambled eggs probably a little later than I was supposed to. And in that 4:45 bowel movement, which was literally, 45 minutes from me being at the facility, which was going to be my last bowel movement, I still felt like I had a little something in me. And I know that I forgot to drink my last glass of water. And I think that last glass of water, Dan, might have been able to been the last little wash through, the accelerant or lubrication that those eggs needed to go through on that 4:45 bowel movement.
So you didn't have to do like a last, like at the very end, like an enema, just to like completely wash out what was left.
No, did Steve?
He had to do some extra stuff.
I didn't. That's why you got to go to my guy. That's why you got to go to my guy, Danny.
Pills. He was taking stuff. You just took pills, right?
Took 24 pills.
And that's it.
Then took them, and you're supposed to take them, and you're supposed to fill an 8-ounce glass full of water and take these 12 pills in 30 minutes. Like take a pill, wait 2 minutes, take a pill. Well, guess what I did?
Took all of them.
Right down the hopper.
Right.
I mean, I figured, we're getting to the same place.
Right.
I mean, we're trying to end up at the same place.
Most people don't have your pelican swallowing talent.
Try. That's right. I mean, I do.
I mean, when you showed me how you do your head, I was in disbelief.
I think
you actually shake it like a crane.
Yeah. Oh, I do. You got to, because you got to get some inertia going in there to go down the hole.
Wow.
It would be like a flood compared to a Cat 5 tornado.
No, I totally get it, Bubba, but it was literally something I've never seen before.
Yeah, well,
it was a surprise.
So I asked the guy, I go, hey, bud, if I'm not completely cleaned out, let's just say there's a little bit left, I've been told that some colonoscopy what are those people called? Endocrinologists?
Endoscopists, colonoscopists, or GI docs.
So anyway, those guys, I heard that they will literally send you home.
They sure will. Well, if you can't see, like I've done the procedure many times, and every now and then someone comes in with a bad prep, and in addition to it being gross, you're constantly shooting water, trying to clean things off, and you get to the point where it's like, listen, no. I'm done. I can't see anything. This is irritating me.
I'm dealing with mud.
I'm dealing with mud. I don't want to. I'm going to wait till the rain stops.
And the mud isn't just mud. It's smelly ass, toxic mud. So, Dan.
Right, and then as you're trying to wash it out, and it's coming out, and it's clogging the camera and it's clogging the scope and obscuring your view.
Look at,
plus it's a bad exam
because you can't see.
You're looking for cancer.
Right. So you can't see. Anything. It might be covered up with a milk dud or something like that. Are you okay, buddy? Lummy, do you need to do the Heimlich?
Yeah, I can. You want me to do it?
Well, I want you to make sure he's okay. Burp
I
him.
was asking Dr. Dan. Yeah.
Maybe burp him like a baby.
I'll come over to Dr. Dan.
Give him a little burp. Baby's got some gas. All right. So he said,
"Thank you."
So my nurse says to me, he goes, "Listen, if it's just a little bit." They do have the ability to suck it out. Like they do have the ability.
They can wash some of it.
He said they do have the ability to irrigate some of it out, but he said it can't be a lot. Like it can't be a lot.
Right. Look, if you're inspecting a car and someone drove it to your place of inspection and they hit it hit a pile of water on the way in, and there's an area that was a little splashed up, had a little bit of mud on it, but the rest of the car is pristine, you're like, I can inspect this car.
I can wipe this off a little bit.
Right, I can figure this out. But if someone rolls up with a filthy car,
and hold on, he's been four-wheeling.
Right, exactly. I went to inspection. It's like, dude, I can't see it. I got dried mud underneath on your suspension. I can't check those.
I can't look at that. I can't look at that upper. I can't look at that lower A arm and assembling and see if it's
bushings are cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, I didn't go four-wheeling, but I do not think that I think I was one.
You hit a puddle.
Yeah, I had some scrambled eggs, and if you look at the picture, it looks just like scrambled eggs.
It does.
Doesn't it?
If it's not that, it's a pile of fungus. I mean, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It looks like scrambled eggs to me.
So anyway, man, I got to tell you, man, even if you're not getting a colonoscopy, this Tushy thing, Tushy Classic 3.0 bidet toilet seat attachment, non-electric, self-cleaning water sprayer with adjustable pressure nozzle, angle control, and easy home installation kit. Big Red put mine on my toilet in about 10 minutes. But he's very handy. And this thing is Dan, I would get one. It is a game changer.
It's on our Amazon now.
Oh, yeah. So go to, what is it? Amazon.bubbaarmy.com.
Yep.
So go to Amazon.bubbaarmy.com.
The Bubba Army. I thought you said the Bubba Army.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So Amazon.thebubbaarmy.com.
Yep.
And use that to sign into your Amazon, and then we get credit for everything that you buy for the rest of your life.
And also, when you renew your Prime membership, just go through Amazon.thebubbaarmy.com, and we get credit on that also.
Amazon.thebubbaarmy.com should be your start and stop on everything Amazon.
Yes, exactly.
Because we get credit for it.
Yep.
Here's a video of this Tushy deal. Dan, let me know what you think.
Do you ever get splash come out up and up?
Here's the thing, Dan. You have to find the sweet spot, and it's got a little bit of an adjuster. So what you do is you poop.
You pre-aim. Wait. Do you before you use it, when you have to use it, do you set it up so that you make sure it's aiming in the right spot?
Well, you just set it up, and then it can adjust.
It self-adjusts, you can find it on its own.
See this thing right here?
Uh-huh.
That adjusts the nozzle.
Oh, so you don't have to like put your hand down there and like, bend it up a little bit more?
No. This thing. No. That you turn this thing on.
Like a crazy straw.
You sit on it.
Right.
Okay. And then you turn the stream on to about half, and you see where it's hitting your ass at.
Oh, okay. So then you can.
Then between moving your ass a little bit and moving the nozzle a little bit,
you find the target.
Oh yeah, and then here's what.
Then you put full blast.
No.
Didn't Big Ray say that like ripped his skin off?
It will literally almost like laser cut your
Oh,
yeah.
like the car wash nozzles at the self car wash.
No,
Yeah,
I mean
I'm
sure that you might be able to build your butt, your rectum, to be able to take that type of pressure.
Condition it.
But when you're a rookie on this deal, man, you're just using triculation at best. Because your rectum's not ever felt anything like that before. Well, ours hasn't. Lummy has. I mean, Lummy could probably turn into full blast right away.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you could be a guy that works with your hands, and if you put your hand in front of a car wash sprayer on full blast, it will rip your skin off.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I mean,
so here's the deal.
Former President Trump is expected to plead not guilty today in Miami.
Where in the hell did that come from?
2 days ago.
A lot can come from a conversation.
Where am I getting
like
all this
setting the
stuff
stage
from?
for a brighter future.
I
Our First Horizon advisors meet you with
son of a bitch.
to help make every day easier.
I didn't even have that screen up. I had my Tushy screen up.
Yeah.
Son of a mother's. Jesus God Almighty. Here we go. So it says 8.5 minutes. So Dan, here's when you really, really got it dialed in. So you turn your Tushy on, you make your little adjustments that they give you, and you adjust your butt, and you got it right on your rectum. And that's the medical term, right?
Yes. It's actually your anus.
Okay, so you got it. You got the water blasted on your anus.
Because the rectum's inside of that.
Okay, so
deeper
anus. And thank you for the medical correction.
Right.
So you got there.
Clean anus.
You got the water power washing your anus.
Right.
And let's be honest, like on some of our BMs, they're quite messy.
Yeah, they're sticky.
Yeah, and so this kind of takes off all of that, and then you're kind of leaning, and you're just getting it, and you're moving your butt around a little bit, and you're adjusting it, and maybe you're turning the pressure up because the initial squirt shocks your anus, and then your anus kind of gets used to it. You turn it up, you're knocking the high spots off. Well, then you try to position it so that it hits the back of your testicles. Because then that means that you got
splashboards clean too.
Yeah, like your testicles almost equal like a backsplash.
Right, that's what I meant. That's what I meant, like the behind the sink.
So realistically, you've done it correctly. If you've started up a little bit, then you've kind of moved your hips and/or the adjustment machine, and then it starts hitting the back of your testicles. That's your backsplash. That means you've gotten all of your what's it called again? Anus. You've gotten all of your anus.
So I have a couple follow-up questions. It's not like the car wash thing where, like, after you use the sprayer, there's still maybe a little dirt back there. You gotta wipe it.
Never.
I've used it. It's 100% clean.
Let me tell you something. In probably the 100 times I've used it.
100?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've had it for a year and a half.
Oh, okay.
And out of the 100 times I've used it, when I've gone back and taken a piece of toilet paper to just to follow up and or dry your
a sentinel wipe.
Well, yeah, you're
seeing if anything, just checking it out.
Never,
really,
ever.
Oh, cool.
Ever has there been anything other than water, and I'm just dry. At that point, I'm drying my anus.
You just like eat off of it. That's awesome.
You can eat off my anus.
So listen, I have one more question. Is there temperature? Like,
no.
Is it just cold water?
Yeah,
warm water?
It's cold.
Because, I had a very traumatic experience once in Miami when I sat on Steven's bidet when he had that condo.
You burnt.
And I burnt my anus.
No, here's the
I
thing.
had an anal burn.
Here's the thing. Because we live in Florida and our water really never gets that cold. Let's just be honest. Our ground, you're
not doing like, you're not doing Indiana cold water in January.
Man, I'll tell you something. If you're
that stuff's cold.
I've been to Indiana. I lived up there. Up until I was 23 years old between Chicago, Grand Rapids, Terre Haute, and Warsaw. And in the wintertime, when you turn on your tap water on cold, it tastes great. It's great, but it is cold. Well, no, they don't have a warmer or anything like that. They just kind of rely on rely on whatever temperature your tap
So
water
there's no
is.
burns?
No burns at all.
Okay.
In fact, it's a little bit kind of cool.
Is it refreshing?
And it's refreshing. It kind of puts a little tingler on it.
It's like the cold bath after exercising.
Yeah, it's like what Jeff Gigante does every day for 30 seconds when he jumps in a tub of ice.
Cold plunge.
Hey, if the cold plunge is
anal
good for your
plunge.
body, it's got to be good for your anus.
Absolutely.
Right?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
it's great for your anus.
Right.
Because you know what cold does is it helps contractile
What's the
tissue.
first thing they
and So when
do?
you got a prolapse, it'll help make it shrink.
Well, here's the deal. The first thing when you got a twisted ankle or a sore knee put ice on it.
Yep.
That's the first thing they tell you to do
Every time.
because it makes the swelling and everything slow down and actually contract.
Right. So you go from a big balloon knot to a little balloon knot.
Right, and so there you go. Here, Lummy, here is the Tushy commercial. It's the best $100 that. Well, I didn't. It was a gift.
Wow, your scrotum
Sweet.
really is the backsplash.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's the target.
Look at.
Do you ever like hurt your testicles when you do it?
No.
Can you?
No. Well, I've
I
not
can
tried
imagine
to.
just like that stream.
Dan,
would be
I
like
don't get
someone
on there
flicking it.
and just do experiments. I go in there and get my. I can't tell you.
Dan's gonna be going
Is
all
that a
different
science
ways.
lab on the toilet
Yeah,
day?
I can't tell you that once I've used my Tushy, then I try to absolutely hurt my testicles. Like I'm not. I'm sorry. Maybe you.
So I'll just tie you down and it's like, I'm going to turn on higher.
All right, so here's
James Bond
so
torture.
that's all that's on the side of your toilet. That's the only thing aesthetically that changes your toilet. You got this little control thing on the side, which is not a big deal.
Right. Oh, you need to turn it off and on somehow.
Right.
Bidets have nozzles and dials.
Look at this.
Oh, why isn't she like sitting on it with underwear?
Well, I don't know.
Trying to be classy.
And it's got this these two little quick release deals if you want to take it off and clean it.
Wait. They call it a schmutz seal?
Shield, yeah. Schmutz shield.
The Smutch
Schmutz.
Shield.
Schmutz.
Some guy named Schmutz.
No, it's not
invented it.
schmutz. Schmutz is not a guy's name. Schmutz is like stuff.
Oh, okay. I thought
It's like
Schmutz might have
debris.
been.
Like you get all the schmutz out. And you're cleaning out something. I think it's Yiddish. Anna's not here to verify that.
All right, so I'm telling you, Dan, you need to get you a Tushy.
Yeah, I mean,
This is a comparison.
Steve's paying what, like $10,000 for a toilet with just
For the
that?
smart toilet,
Yeah,
yeah.
$100 and you have the same thing.
Yeah, Steve's paying $100,000. I'm sorry, $5,000 for this. Okay. Well, so ours is add-on. It's the same effect.
And I don't need my toilet to like sing to me
Right.
or
And if you
tickle
put it
me.
and if you put it in your carriage house, which nobody goes to, and it's just
my
your,
ass.
it's your
my anus.
Let's just be honest. The rules on the carriage house is Dan only, unless invited. Right?
Yep.
Well, Dan, Steve, or Jay only. It's kind of a community Diaco. It's a man Diaco cave.
Yeah, you need a penis to enter. You need a Diaco penis
like
to enter.
Romina, let's just be honest. I know the rules of the home. Romina is not allowed to go into the carriage house unannounced.
Nope.
The kids are not allowed to go into the carriage house.
Nope.
Nobody, Krista, Candle.
Oh, God, no.
No, nobody. Nobody.
No.
Now, Steve can walk in at will.
Yep.
Jay can walk in at will. They all have
Yep.
keys. In fact, they have keys. Dan can walk in at will.
That's where we work. We do a lot of work there.
They sit around the couch and get and put the phones in the freezer and get stuff done.
Yep.
Nonetheless. So the guy told me, no, they got a little evacuation deal. They'll get you. So I did get in trouble, though, Dan, because I was taking pictures of my vitals as part of my video. And he says, you can't have a cell phone back. Like, you can't do that. I'm like, Dan, I was amazed. And I was a little bit, I was a little bit nervous and had a little anxiety because I'm getting ready to go into this procedure.
Of course, man. Of course.
I'm a little.
Yeah, no one's gonna go in there 100% cool and calm. They're about to stick this, 14-foot black thing inside of you and look to see if you have cancer.
So
it's not cool.
But I looked. He put a blood pressure cuff on me, and they're doing my blood pressure. And I said, "What's my blood pressure?" And he goes, 117/71. He goes, "That's like
beautiful."
He's like, "That's like T." He goes, so he did it again. I actually took a picture of it, and that's when he got mad. He goes, "Hey, listen, you can't take pictures of this stuff in here."
Do you know why they say that?
Yeah, why?
Hold on. I think, can you see it? 117/71.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Why do they say that? So that you couldn't use it against him in a lawsuit later on down the road?
No, because they don't want you taking pictures of other patients by accident.
Oh.
It's because there's other people that back there.
Oh, well.
So it's not like it's going to like interfere with like a pacemaker. That's all crap. It's like it doesn't really affect the plane.
I know, but he should have known. I only took a picture of my machine in my room with the.
It should have been fine.
But anyway, 117. How does a 287 pound, 270, not 281? I think I am. I don't know.
Nice.
I don't know what I am. I haven't weighed in 2 weeks. I'll probably weigh today. Anyway, how does a 200? Let's call it 280. How does a 57-year-old, 280-pound man have a blood pressure of 117/71?
Because you were born from the angels, brother.
Is it really
you got
genetics?
Good genes. Yeah, it's genes. And, again, also, it's 2 or 3 things. It's genes, it's attitude, it's also how you let life bother you. And you don't. Even though, so many people get their nuts in a knot over the smallest little things. And although, you'd like to fly off the handle sort of metaphorically every now and then, you have one of the most stressful lives of anyone I know. And I have a stressful life. I'm one to talk. But you are so able to let that stuff just roll off your shoulders.
And have been screwed with.
I mean unbelievable. And so you do have great genes.
We're getting screwed with right now on Twitter, aren't we, Lummy?
Yes, we are.
As soon as we get our Twitter back, Dan, God forbid the trolls not jump on and start,
How can they say anything? There's girls like, fisting themselves with a donkey.
All they have to do is just complain.
Yes.
That's it. So anyway, a good blood pressure. Now, Dan, does that mean like I may not have plaque in my arteries, or
the process of calcification of arteries has to do with couple things. Number 1, genes. Number 2, your cholesterol level. Number 3,
hold on, my cholesterol
pressure.
level. My cholesterol level is 172.
That's awesome too. See, the healthiest guy I know.
So, you think that I'm probably not real plaquey?
Oh, definitely not real plaquey, because again, you don't have high cholesterol and you don't have high blood pressure. Those 2 things definitely contribute to how fast your vessels calcify. So yeah, you probably have wide open vessels.
I did have a pretty attractive anesthesiologist yesterday.
That's cool. There's one more thing I want to say about Bubba before we get to this anesthesiologist, is the fact that you survived at 5 and now you're down to under 3. Your body made itself strong enough to deal with 5.
488. Let's be honest.
488.
Yeah.
So,
survived at 5.
Survived at 5.
So 277's a walk in the park for my body.
You lost 40% of your body weight. And so your body had to deal with 100% of that weight at one point. And so when you take that kind of weight off, all of a sudden pressure goes down, cholesterol goes down, all those bad things go down dramatically. And that's one of the reasons I think also that you have unusually good numbers.
Well, I need to get down to 245.
Daily Cialis helps your blood pressure too.
Oh yeah, I take a daily Cialis.
That helps your blood pressure.
For any of you, man, I finally got Steve to admit that he was taking a daily Cialis. I go, Steve, he was in here when you left, remember? And I go, yes. Steve, do you take a daily Cialis? And you know how Steve's on, like, is this mic hot? I go, Steve, we're not talking about trade secrets here. It's like, I know you're always afraid about something, but it doesn't really matter.
He just started. He literally just started like a month ago.
Like 2 weeks ago, maybe, or less.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, literally, like you called him like the one time he was like actually bad.
But he thinks like, it's such like I'm like, and it was during hot mic. I go, Steve, do you take a daily Cialis? You should, man. It'll help it'll help your prostate. It'll help your erections. It's just
helps your hair. And it helps your blood pressure.
I said
it helps 4 things.
If you're over 50 and you're not taking a daily 5 milligrams,
5 or 6 milligrams a day.
Prescribed by your. Listen, if you go to your regular physician, just your general doc, and say, hey, listen, I'm interested in daily Cialis, and you're over 50, I don't know why. Maybe, Dan, there might be some areas of people
you're already on a lot of blood pressure medicine. That would be the only reason not to. But if you're not, then, like I said, it temporizes your blood pressure a little bit. It helps prevent hair loss. It keeps your prostate open, and it keeps your penis more turgid.
Effective.
Yeah,
but Steve was so funny. Steve was like, hold on. Steve was like, is this mic on? I go, yeah, we're on the hot mic. And he goes, And you know how Steve gets real, like
He did that
Steve,
calculation. He did that lawyer calculation in his head, like Chuck did before he shot that guy. He started going through it all in his head for about 2 seconds.
I'm like,
seconds.
Steve, it's not, even Dan will tell you, it's not a bad thing. Nobody's going to use it against you because you're on a daily Cialis, buddy. Like, you don't have to lawyer up in your head and realize that some guy from Iowa just heard you admit to taking 5 milligrams of Cialis. And then he was like, oh, yeah, but I'll tell you what the biggest problem. And then after he opened up and he realized it was okay to say that I'm on a daily Cialis, he was like, yeah, but you know what the problem is? And he goes, man, I'm hard in the morning. I'm really hard. I go, and the problem of that is what? He's like,
unless it's waking up and you can't get back to sleep.
Well,
you just got to tap Crystal on the shoulder.
Yeah, and it's not like, she's not ready to accommodate at a moment's notice. He's got her trained.
Yep.
Probably out of all the Diaco women, she's most likely to take care of her man.
T-shirt will 25 on the cash app.
Would you not agree? I mean, she's probably the one that, there's probably some times that Romina would be like, oh, man, Danny's horny, and I'm just...
Every time.
Every day. Every day.
Not again.
Oh, my God. Oh, not again, Donnie. We did it yesterday, Donnie.
I need more wine time.
I need more wine time,
7
Donnie.
a.m. She's drinking wine.
7 o'clock in the morning. Most kids are having Frosted Flakes. She's down there having wine. Little Danny's having his Cocoa Puffs.
Two more of these.
And she's got, half a bottle of wine down because once they leave for the day, Pops wants to get a little crazy. Right, Danny?
Yeah. It makes it all go away.
Makes all the pain go away.
Yeah.
So anyway,
The bear's bad.
I had my colonoscopy yesterday, and now I guess I got to go back and see him in a week, and he goes over my results.
Well, you had a biopsy, so there's you still have one more thing. You still have one more thing to worry about.
Oh, they did give me a biopsy?
They biopsied the sessile polyp.
Now, I looked at a sessile polyp, and it's a far better...
No, it's not.
No, I know. I mean, it's a bigger, more mass than just a single little hanging mole.
Right.
It's kind of like
It's
like a colony.
Right. It's like exactly like a colony instead of like dangling stalactite.
It's like a Tropicana Field dome full of little polyps, more than just one little pinky sticking up there, right?
Right, exactly. It's a patch of polyps.
One would think that could potentially be an issue, right?
It's more likely to be an issue than a single pedunculated polyp,
right? So,
and it's a bigger area, so it's more technically difficult to biopsy without damaging.
So they took that out, and
the whole thing.
Well, I mean,
or a piece of it.
I mean, you can probably read, and they might even have a picture number as to where it was.
They said it was removed.
So maybe as you look into that a little bit more during commercials, you can see the area. Maybe they did a before and after area. But now, Dan, so if that's cancerous, then okay. If it's not cancerous, then no big deal. They took it out. It's gone. And I'll be back in 5 years. Now, what kind of polyp is it called?
Sessile.
If that sessile group of colony of polyps happens to be cancerous, then what?
Then they'd go back and they'd try to stage you. They'd do a CT of your belly with contrast or an MRI of your belly with contrast, and maybe even a PET scan, and then they'd go back in and do surgery and do lymph node biopsies, take out the patch that it was, that the polyp was there. Let me rephrase that. Take out the patch of colon where the polyp
Take
was.
off that little section of highway.
Right. And hopefully do it with a clean bowel prep so they can do it what they call a primary anastomosis. You don't have to, defecate in a bag for 6 months.
You just said a whole bunch of stuff like a CT scan with contrast, taking out lymph nodes, going in my butt and taking out a section of my highway, and hopefully they can take my section of my highway out enough and do it well enough that I can just continue on, but I don't have to do an off-ramp onto a bag. Is that what you just said? It sounds like that could be a pretty big deal. If that particular little patch is cancerous, that kind of sounds like it's a big deal.
It depends. It depends on the size of the tumor, whether or not there's lymph nodes, and whether or not, it depends on how low it is. If it's too low, then they have to do,
I mean, look at it. It might be able to show you where it was. I mean, if you look at I know you can't look at the report extensively now. You can when we go into commercials, which oddly enough, I'm way late, so let's go into commercials.
Okay, look at this a little closer.
You look at that a little bit closer, and we can talk about whether I got to poop in a bag or not.
Striving to reach new lows every day. It's Bubba the Love Sponge.
The Subway chokehold guy, indicted yesterday. This feels politicky to me too. New York City. This guy is a complete. The bad guy had been in and out of the mental system. I don't know how many times. Arrested. I don't know how many times, and was actually on a list in New York City as one of the most 15 potentially harmful mental health people. He's on the top 15 list of possible mental health issues in all of New York. He's in the top 15. This guy starts causing problems on the subway, accosting women and things like this, and this badass dude put him in a chokehold and killed him, and didn't mean to kill him. And here's the deal. The average chokehold won't kill a guy unless you're hopped up on, fentanyl and on drugs and things like that. Then your body can't withstand just a normal, Rob Con chokehold. Chokehold didn't kill you, Lummy, but knocked you the F out, did it not?
Sure did.
Right.
Breaking news from New York City. CBS News has confirmed that a Manhattan grand jury has indicted.
Jesus. I'm tired of Manhattan grand juries.
Marine veteran Daniel Penny in the chokehold killing of Jordan Neely last month on a subway car. Penny, who was initially charged with second-degree manslaughter, says he was trying to defend himself and other subway riders from Neely, who witnesses say was yelling and...
Is he handcuffed there?
I believe so.
They really got a perp walk him right on out just
Neely,
like this?
Yep. Who witnesses say was yelling and threatening passengers.
Man.
You know what's worse is what happened yesterday in New York on the subway. Same kind of thing, except the guy that confronted him got stabbed and died.
Man charged after subway rider fatally stabbed on Brooklyn J-bound train. So this was the same thing where there was some crazy guy acting crazy?
It looks like according to cell phone videos and witnesses, became boisterous, ripped off his shirt, and was taunting some of the riders. When he turned his sights on a woman at the end of the car, he was confronted.
Here it is.
Last night, this one a stabbing. Last night, Jordan Williams accused of stabbing a man who was harassing him and other passengers on a J train as it was approaching Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Williams now charged with manslaughter. Eyewitness News reporter N.J. Burkett.
So the guy died.
Yep.
Right? I mean, you can't get manslaughter unless there's a death, right?
Yep. Live in Williamsburg. N.J.
Yeah, that's right, Bill. We spoke exclusively today with one.
Maybe we need some more subway police presence. Huh?
It's just crazy that this is the precedent we're setting for people who either protect themselves, feel like they need to defend themselves. The Jordan Neely thing, nobody on that subway car was arguing with him and calling him a monster while he had that guy in a chokehold. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I hate this.
In fact, there were 2 or 3 other men that were helping Jordan Neely restrain this guy because he was such a problem. Now, 2 or 3 dudes, and I think including an African-American guy, don't help you restrain a guy if he's been a perfect angel and not been doing nothing wrong. In fact, if you just, as a white guy, go and grab an innocent black guy on the subway because he's doing nothing wrong and start choking him out, people probably will start choking you out. Like coming to the African-American or anybody, for that matter's defense. If you just grab, let's take white or black out of it. If you just grab a person on the subway that's minding their own business and start choking them out, people are going to intervene. So when a guy grabs a man and starts choking him out because he's been a disruption and an issue and been touching women and threatening to kill people, and you're choking him out to restrain him, and you got 1 or 2 other men that are helping you, then wouldn't that be somewhat of an indication that this guy's been a problem and they've watched him be a problem, and now that somebody's been proactive and done something, they're going to help? They don't help people restrain innocent people.
Well, you see with this, too, you don't see the uproar or anything about it.
One eyewitness who was on board the train that night, he tells me that the victim was harassing riders and taunting them and was killed after he punched one of those riders in the face.
Well, that's a push.
Yeah.
You were taunting riders. You punched a rider in the face. You got stabbed. Push.
That's it, right?
If I'm Police Chief Clem and Lummy, you're a detective, and Rhett, you're a detective,
Yeah.
Be like, hey, this black guy here was messing around with people and threatening to kill them, and then he punched this other black guy in the face, and this other black guy who got punched in the face stabbed that dude.
How do you want to charge him?
Charge him with what?
Nothing? Let him go?
That's what my ruling is.
All right.
Don't be a dick on the subway, and keep your hands to yourself. I'd have the Georgia Satellites whip me up a song. When you're gonna ride the subway, and keep your hands to yourself.
So the thing about the story that I'm reading as well about the guy that got stabbed on the train, it just says he had gotten into a dispute. Now, whether that's a verbal or a physical dispute, they don't specify. I just assume he was being unruly and he was yelling at people. But that also begs the question, like, how physical does that guy have to get before someone else steps in and takes matters into their own hands? I mean, if you hit
a guy in the face, and he stabs you, that's on you.
If you get physical and someone has to defend themselves, I agree.
Right.
But
if you hit a guy in the face and the guy that you hit in the face stabs you, well, that just shows you how much of an idiot, because you shouldn't bring a fist to a knife fight.
Oh, now it looks like he punched the woman. He punched a woman, and her boyfriend is the one that stabbed him.
That's even better.
ABC 7 New York says officials say some kind of fight began aboard the train in Manhattan around 8 p.m. So the argument escalated to punching before police say a man identified as 20-year-old.
Well, now Lummy's saying that the bad guy punched the guy who stabbed the bad guy's girlfriend may have been the one that got punched in the face. Now you're defending your girl. You punched my girlfriend in the face. Well, first of all, she'll shoot you. But second of all, if I can get to you, I'm going to try to stick up for her. My little T-Rex arms.
Is under arrest tonight. Why'd you have a knife, Jordan?
That guy looks like a pretty good dude.
And
he's he's well dressed. He didn't look like some. I mean, this guy looks like a regular dude.
And it looks like the guy that he stabbed was an ex-con.
20-year-old Jordan Williams is charged with manslaughter.
Now why isn't the African American community raising hell over this?
Yep.
You got what looks to be like a pretty damn good, guy, well dressed. I don't think this guy has a history of doing bad things. And you can just tell by the way a person like the guy's well kept. He's as much of a gentleman as you can be, being double handcuffed, being led by two thick-neck agents.
Yeah.
But do we have a picture of the victim?
I'm looking for that right now.
Possession, accused of stabbing another rider to death in a fistfight aboard the J train in Williamsburg. It happened at 8 o'clock last night. Police say Williams did not remain at the scene, but was arrested several subway stops away. Witnesses say it began as a train was headed toward the Marcy Avenue station, that the victim was being boisterous.
And the whole subway system is just a cesspool. Not policed enough.
Ripped off his shirt and was taunting some of the riders.
All right, so the bad guy ripped off his shirt and is taunting some of the riders. It'd be interesting in the autopsy to see what he had in the system, right?
Yeah.
Turned his sights on a woman at the end of the car. He was confronted, apparently by Williams, seated across from her. We spoke exclusively with one eyewitness by phone.
The guy who was sitting down across from that girl said, you need to chill, something to that effect. They exchanged words, 2 or 3, things back and forth, and then the guy who's standing up punched him really hard in the face. They start fighting. Everyone scatters.
So from that eyewitness account, I gather this. There's a girl sitting there. There's a guy sitting across from her. We'll call him good guy. Bad guy has already torn off his shirt and is acting like a crazy man in the subway. He then gets up in this girl's face. No shirt on, he be wilding. And the good guy, the dreaded up good guy across the aisle from her says, "Hey, dude, you need to chill." Well, then the dude turns around and gets all up in the good guy's face and punches him. Punches the good guy. Man, at that point, all bets are off.
It doesn't
Stab,
seem...
shoot, choke, kick, hit him in the balls, teabag him. I don't care.
It doesn't seem like they gave this guy very much of an investigation at all before they arrested him and charged him and all this stuff, too.
Police say Williams draws a knife and plunges it into the victim's chest.
Perfect. Perfect. Don't be an asshole on the subway.
Austin Yeager 10 on the Cash App.
Don't take off your shirt, start whiling, get up in a girl's face. A nice young man tells you to chill. You hit him in the face. He stabs you in the heart. Lummy, Sergeant Lummy.
Yes.
This is a push.
Push? Let him go?
Yeah.
All right.
In fact, let's have an award for him.
Then he, turned around, stumbled through the car doors into the cart where everyone had ran to, and he had a hole in the middle of his center of his torso that was pumping blood out of it.
Paramedics were unable to save him. Identified as 36-year-old DeVictor Wadrogo, whose last known address is a homeless shelter in Brooklyn.
I mean, there you go. Nothing against homeless people, but this guy, do a background check on the guy they arrested. I bet you he's not homeless. He looked like he was pretty well kept, pretty good dude.
The case is somewhat different from that of Jordan Neely, the mentally ill subway.
Look at this. African-American dude helping the white guy.
Yep.
On a black dude.
Handler killed in a chokehold by Daniel Penny. Penny claims he intended to restrain Neely, although he was not physically attacked. Williams allegedly used deadly force deliberately in a fistfight. The witness told us Williams went too far.
It's certainly something he didn't start or would have probably been involved in if it weren't for, the guy who was killed being the aggressor. But
now, hold on, let's not downplay any of that. Let's not put a but on that. It's certainly something he didn't start or would have been involved in if it wasn't for, the guy who was killed being the aggressor. But mic drop, bitch.
Done.
But you can't kill somebody just because, they started a fight with you. Well, who is to say that guy can't? You can kill people by punching them. You can kill people by beating them to death. If a guy catches you, now you'd be a hard one to kill because you're just look at you.
Yeah, that's right.
And you're stupid.
That's right. I don't
Stupid
go down
people
easy.
die. It takes a longer time for stupid people to die.
I just keep coming back.
So if a guy caught you square in the chin, knocked you out, so you're a little bit knocked out, and your wife's not there because she would shoot him. Yeah. But he got on top of you, and he literally just started pummeling your face, nonstop pummeling your face. There's been people that have been beat to death. Yeah. There's been people that have killed there's been people that have died from a single punch. Punching can kill you.
I mean, I have a family member who got in a bar fight many, many years ago and eventually was charged with manslaughter because the guy that he beat up died in the hospital 2 days later. And it happens.
How long a time did he have to do?
God. This was 30 plus years ago, so he's been out for a while, but easily a couple of years.
Wow.
You can't.
But he won that fight, didn't he?
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, he's at least 10-0 probably.
Kill someone just because they started a fight with you.
Why can't you? Why can't you kill somebody if somebody hits you in the face? Why can't you? What? Stand your ground?
It looks
Again, the charge.
I mean, now hold on. You have to be in fear of your life. Okay, well, this guy, prior to hitting me, prior to fighting with me, is a homeless man. It's going to be interesting to see what he had in his system. Ripped his shirt off and started whiling on the subway to the point where it's alleged that he may have hit a girl, but he's up in a girl's face. I tell him to chill. He hits me. He starts a fist fight with me, and I kill him.
And what if I don't want to fight? What if I want to use my Second Amendment right and eliminate the threat?
Right. What? Well, in New York, you can't have a gun, so you'd be in more trouble. But nonetheless, if this is in Florida,
stand your ground state, castle doctrine.
This is the same as the George, although I may not agree with it. This is the same as the George Zimmerman deal and the Trayvon Martin deal. All Trayvon Martin had was an energy drink and the thing of Skittles.
Well,
is manslaughter. Any additional charges, of course, will be up to a Brooklyn grand jury. Now, the victim has a criminal record.
Here we go. Hold on. Now, this is the dude that we're sticking up for. Has a criminal record.
Includes multiple arrests for robbery. He has no documented mental health history that we are aware of, and was unarmed.
But Bubba, you know what they
It's
leave
like
out?
they're almost sticking up. It's like they're sticking up for the bad guy here.
It's weird because it says he was paroled in April 2012 to immigration. If you're paroled to immigration, that usually means you're what? You're probably going to get kicked out of the country because you're illegal?
Yeah.
Wow. So is he an illegal immigrant too, which they aren't talking about?
Oh, they're not going to talk about that.
yeah, that doesn't get clicks on me.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's like New York is sticking up for the bad guy. This guy's a piece of shiz. He's been arrested before. And again, you know what's really going to be the tall tale is what he had in his system. Now, if he comes back with nothing in his system, maybe that changes my opinion a little bit. But if you're going to punch a guy in his face and that guy happens to have a knife and kill you, you started it, I ended it. Had you not punched me in the face, I wouldn't have stabbed you. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And I guess he was telling people that he was going to erase someone today.
Okay.
So that was like threatening to him also.
I'm going to erase somebody. No, bitch. You're going to get erased. The eraser goes two ways. I got one of those double-sided erasers, bitch. You used the wrong end.
See, that's a guy who's been in trouble with the law before. If he's using that Kenneth Kimberlin, secret code talk, I'm going to erase somebody today. Cops probably couldn't technically get him on that, right?
Ridiculous.
And it looks like what happened.
This country is just absolutely ridiculous. And I'll tell you what's even scaring me more is this July 1st Florida constitutional carry deal.
Oh.
Every Tom, Dick, and Harry is now going to have a gun when before you just needed to be responsible and register your gun or have a license saying that you are responsible to own a gun. I like that rule because that gives guns to responsible people. I don't want, yes, it's your constitutional right, but you know what? Our population has changed dramatically since the Constitution was written back in 1776, 75, whatever the hell they wrote it. People were honest and cool back then, and you had the right to have a musket so that somebody couldn't come in and take your farm. But now, man, everybody that's never committed a crime or been, let's not say that, that's never been caught committing a crime can have a gun.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad people who can legally own a gun.
There's a lot of bad people that have done a lot of bad things that have not been caught that don't need a gun.
And obviously the thought process for some people is that, bad guys are still going to carry guns regardless. So you hope with something like this, the good guys can outnumber the bad guys carrying guns, but there's just a lot of stupid-ass people out there, man.
There is. When I come back, Lummy, listen, man, you don't think terrestrial radio is done?
Yeah.
iHeart, Beasley, Cumulus, Cox, Town Square, Audacity, all these large companies, Salem. You're not going to be able to emulate what I do. You're not going to be able to emulate my show and the people and the characters that we have. But you're not going to need a midday girl. You're not going to need an afternoon drive guy that's spinning, 9 classic rock records an hour. You're not going to need an overnight person. You're not going to need a night guy. You're just going to AI it. Radio has killed itself. Radio has taken the proverbial cyanide pill.
And they're kind of bragging about it.
And they are. And they're stupid. And radio doesn't even want a complaint call. Radio doesn't even want a complaint call.
You don't think this industry is dying fast enough?
God. We'll get into that next.
He's Bubba in need. The Love Sponge of serious psychotherapy. Bubba the Love Sponge.
What is there not to like about the show? Bubba the Love Sponge.
Guys are awesome.
And I love the sponge.
The show's cool. It's real, man.
He makes me laugh my ass off every time I listen.
I'm a full trucker effect, man, so it gets me through the day all the time.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
BubbaArmyMerch.com for your straw sun Bubba Army hats. I think there's some coolers, personal coolers, lunchbox, I should say, personal ice lunchbox deals, like to put a sandwich and like 4 monsters in, all with the Bubba Army logo. Lummy, I don't think I ordered 100 hats, and I think we're gonna sell out at the end of the day, and it's kind of a pain in the ass because I got to get the hats, and then I got to take them to the place that puts the patch on, and so it's kind of like a triple handling deal. So what I'm gonna do is, is like every March, I might make 100.
Oh,
just make them, like I don't want, because you got to order them in increments of 100, and so I don't want to order another 100. Because we blew through these hundreds in about 3 days. I don't know that there's another 100 people that want them. I think that the 100 people that wanted. What's your opinion? Should I reorder or just make it a one-time-a-year deal?
I'd say one-time-a-year deal, unless you get so many emails in, maybe for June or July, I say. But I would probably say you're good.
Yeah.
I don't want you sitting on inventory.
Yeah, I don't like sitting on inventory. It's tough. It's been slow. It's been slow,
Austin
Lummy.
from Georgia, 20 on the Cash App.
Bubba, 190. I'm sorry, Dan's birthday, 199 next Friday, right?
Yes.
Hopefully that'll bring it in, Lummy.
I hope so.
Hopefully that'll bring it in. We can save the nose up. We've just been having some, I think the economy's bad. Maybe we've pissed some people off. Maybe the show sucks. Maybe maybe Rhett is not being responsive on AI because he's afraid that it could replace, it could be, you guys could just.
I mean, it could be so good we could be out of a job next week.
Right. What I'm saying is you run a couple of my shows through there. Next thing you know, I fire everybody except Macho Man. Macho Man teaches me how to do this. It's just me and Macho Man working here. That's it.
Yeah,
and we're just running AI shows.
Yeah, maybe if the other radio people were, that smart, they wouldn't be promoting it.
Yeah, well, I've always been ahead of the curve, so I own my own content. It might be able for me to make money, sit back, cut back all my expenses, and live even larger than I am now because people are I don't have to pay you bozos to put stuff together. I just let AI do it.
Yeah.
That's why Rhett's fighting this whole deal. Rhett knows he could do this tomorrow if he wanted to. This bitch did it. What's this girl? Live 95.5 launches Radio GPT and middays with an AI version of Ashley Z.
Yeah, that Radio GPT is a commercial program they offer now to these radio stations. I think it's $20,000 or $25,000.
But guess
what? And
what?
Once they come in and they put it in your board,
guess what?
You don't have to pay those people salaries anymore.
No, but guess what?
What?
Look at who see if Jay O'Connor has. I know that he's doing something AI radio wise. This might be his company. And he was the general manager before Keith Lawless. He's the one that hired me at the Bone. He's the one that first believed in me. And my ship was sunk when he left because Keith Lawless hated me. But if Jay O'Connor is running this Chat GPT, Radio GTP, he'll give me a demo version for free.
Woo!
Rat's almost out of here, especially with his -8.
Oh, no.
Puppy mill.
Today, I go from just Ashley to AI Ashley.
What you don't understand, Ashley, is you're all happy about this, but you're done, bitch. You're out of a job.
On Live
When you got AI that can do a phone call, it sucks. It sucks, but this is the most primitive version of it. This just came out. You don't think it's going to get better? It'll get a lot better.
5.5. So let's see how close the AI sounds to me. Today, I go from just Ashley to AI Ashley on Live 95.5. Let's see how close the AI sounds to me.
All right, so where do I...
That's crazy.
Where do I hit the button that shows
That
them?
sounds like me.
It's
I guess
arrow.
I have the
If you
day
stay on that
off.
video and hold it over, there's an arrow.
Oh, that's right. The arrow. Okay, here we go. Boom. And then boom. This is a person that won Taylor Swift tickets. And this is AI Ashley, not even her. Now, Rhett, did they just... Ashley didn't have to say any of these words. Chat GTP just put these words all together, right?
I'm not specifically sure how Radio GPT works, but she may have had to type that prompt out to be written.
Oh.
Because that's usually how Chat GPT operates.
It's AI Ashley.
Well, so now you're going to turn radio people into secretaries where you got to type your response?
Calling her first Taylor Swift winner.
Nice board. Now this is completely AI. This radio personality is not real.
Hey there. Who's this? It's AI Ashley from Live 95.5. What's your name? This is Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Where are you from? Salem, Oregon. Do you have any idea why I might be calling you today? The only thing I can think of is Taylor Swift. Did you text in to win the tickets? Yes. It looks like you got every keyword on Friday. I tried really hard. I tried really hard. Well, that's why I'm calling today. Stop it. Lisa, you won. Stop it.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, Rhett, you just need a bunch of schedulers in there typing out, right?
Yes.
Like, remember when they used to run Selector to schedule the music?
Right.
Now you just have somebody run Selector to schedule your DJs, right?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure just how automated Radio GPT is, but if they're charging that much for it, I have a feeling that
it's gone.
It's going to get better.
Well,
Yeah.
they
It's going to
just-
keep on getting better.
Slater's gone.
Tuesday.
So's Fisher.
Oh, Slater's been gone.
Tuesday, they introduced the AI Ashley now as their new DJ from 10 to 3.
No way. Yes way.
They fired
We're going
the
to
guy.
see Taylor Swift.
No, they fired her.
Yes.
She's not the guy.
You won tickets to see Taylor Swift.
But that's all radio is anyway. Whether it's a computer bitch saying it or just a bitch reading the card.
Yeah, if you're a jock,
it's all it is. It's wow, 94.1. It's Frankie Knuckles in the house, and here's the new one from Yippee-O, and coming up next is a Yippee-O, and hit me up on the wild lines for your chance to win some. We be wildin'.
We got DJ Dirty Mike and the boys.
Yeah. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Why would you lend your voice to that? Why would you not sue the hell out of the radio station now?
Yeah, for real. I mean, if they fired her and she's not getting royalties on the backside, there's got to be some legality.
No. And listen, when you sign a contract, they own.
That's true.
No, they didn't. Sorry.
Hold on. They own every show you've ever done. So if they run every show you've ever done through the radio chat GTBWBO, and they get all your little idiosyncrasies and all your voice patterns and all that, they own that material. They can repurpose it however they want.
So this is how they explained it. So they said the traditional Ashley is just not going to be on the air, and she's accomplishing other tasks, such as managing social media posts or working on digital assets.
Right.
Probably took a big-ass pay cut, too.
Big-ass pay cut, too. Her $35,000 a year is now, part-time at 15. Somebody's got my mouse. I don't know. Somebody got my mouse? Give me my mouse back, bitch. I got to do it. I'm behind. I'm way behind. What did it make a deal?
Oh, yeah.
Way behind.
The real target of the best right-wing conspiracy.
What the hell?
What the hell? What the?
Bubba the Love Sponge.
I've heard the word surreal, and that's all there is for it.
All day, every day.
I'm an FTE. Full tractor effect. You're my savior.
I listen to it in the morning and
this
at
about
night.
50
Keeps me
times.
awake all
Lummy,
night
get a
driving
hold
that
of
big rig
Todd.
down the road.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
Get a hold of
We
Brad.
love you, brother.
Brad
Bubba the Love
James.
Sponge Show.
Get a hold of Brad immediately. Lummy, look at my screen. These are the officers of this radio chat GTB Willie.
Yeah.
See Todd Thomas down there?
Yes.
That was my program director and big fan of the show when I was in Connecticut. And he's a big slinging D. I'm going to get one of these programs. I can get rid of everybody. Just me and Macho Man. How much money I'd save? Hello, please. You're on the air.
Hey, Bubba. So I actually had a meeting with them probably about 3 weeks ago. I'm assuming they probably have different pay scales that they charge like a commercial FM station. But for my station, they were actually going to charge, if you just wanted one talent to operate like an evening show, it was $1,000. If you wanted to have a full station, it was only $1,500 a month.
For a full-on, now how do they do it? Do you run like all your personalities through a program and it kind of picks up their voice patterns and idiosyncrasies, and then after a while, if you've run enough through there, then you can replace them?
You can do it two ways. If you want an actual voice that you want on there, like say Lummy's voice, you need 30 minutes of his voice, and then they can copy it. Otherwise, they have 100 voices that you can select from.
No, I want my voice. Here's what I want to do. Right. Since you've been demoed by these guys, here's my vision, and you tell me. I'm assuming you're a radio guy, and so tell me if this is doable. I have Rhett run 10, 15, 20 of my shows through this program, and then I ask it to spit out a program. a program like this. Is that doable?
100%. All they told me was if I took 30 minutes of a person that I wanted, they put it into the program, and then they'll have a full.
What if it's back to?
AI
What if it's talk?
What if I'm a talk guy and I'm not doing music? I'm just a talk guy. Do you tell?
That's what I'm saying. 30 minutes of your voice talking.
I know, but do you have to give it a direction on what to talk about? What if I wanted to? No, it just knows what I want to talk about.
It pulls from all these different. I forget how many websites, but you can set because you're in Tampa. So whatever you want that AI to generate and talk about, they program it to that area, and then it pulls from all these websites from that area. So it's always talking about what's current and what's topical.
But what about if it's not? Does it have to be Bubba's voice straight 30 minutes, or can it be Dr. Dan chiming in?
Would it be able to pick up on Dan's voice? Would it be able to pick up on Lummy's voice? Would it be able to pick up? No.
I would think any audio samples we upload would have to be just you or just the person it wants.
Right.
Just me.
Right.
So it would be harder to do the old shows then, is what you're saying?
No, Lummy, all you do is just, you guys work on getting a whole bunch of me monologuing, free form, talking, run it through there.
Okay.
And, it's going to take some work to replace you guys. It's going to take some work for you guys to replace yourself, but we'll get it done.
Okay.
I wonder how much they charge me. And listen, I know one of the guys that are one of them. I know the senior vice president of automation, Todd Thomas.
Right. They might give it to you for free for you to demo it. And
they might give it to me for free because I'm Bubba the Love Sponge. You'd be like, hey, I'm Bubba the Love Sponge, and nobody thought they could emulate me, and these guys are killing it on me.
Exactly.
All right, man. Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. You too. Lummy. Huh.
I wonder if it takes your opinions.
I don't know.
Because he said just news that's going on.
I bet you it's designed to be neutral and stay away from certain topics. There's even ChatGPT. I can ask it a question, and it's like, that's not ethical for me to answer.
Well, I want the non-ethical version.
That's right.
Well, they may not have that one
I want
just
the
yet.
heathen. I want the rated R with an X tickler. Please. Does Macho Man have my upper button bar ready to go? Am I supposed to hit that?
Just hit play. It should work.
It doesn't. I don't see disclaimers or anything.
It's scrolled down a little bit. Trust me.
All righty. Lummy, we'll do an after show at 10:30. Okay.
Sounds good.
Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Right.
Yes.
Right. Bubba Army Radio, the Bubba Army app, and tune in as well. We're running a little bit late today. We're sorry. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for letting me finish.
You've been listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, starring
me, Bubba the Love Sponge.
Co-host and show historian, Lumix.
Co-host, Anna Hummel.
Co-host, Dr. Dan Diaco, Esquire, of Council.
Co-host, J. Diaco, Esquire, the Spitting Cobra, of Council.
Rhett, the Filthy Ginger, video editor.
Yeah, back here wiring up. It's Mini Macho.
The BRN agent, Thomas Buttoned Up B.
And for everything else, go to thebubbaarmy.com.
Now, time for the legal disclaimer.
Exactly. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this show without express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
We must dissuade him of this delusion.
Until next time, always remember.
I'll repeat hello.